CJ Wallace, and I have two very special guests with me today. You guys may be familiar with Greg, but I'm gonna go ahead and let them introduce themselves.
Yeah, my name is Greg, aka White Son of a Gun, Cop Clem, all that good stuff. But we're really here for CJ, so introduce yourself.
My name is CJ. Stage name, CallMeeCJ. I make music. You can follow me on Instagram, which is call_me with 2 E's _CJ. And yeah.
Yeah, and CJ makes music, guys. So I'm gonna put y'all onto some heat. Kick back, relax, and enjoy this episode.
Before I waste time, would you spend yours? 'Cause I spend my life with you. Before I waste time, would you spend yours? 'Cause I spend my life with you. She got that good, and she fine wine. If I eat it up, call it fine dine. And she hood, she like dollar signs. If she bought the bag, then she mine. See, I'm goal-oriented, and she goal-oriented. If I'm going through a bad time, she had me reinvented. If she wanna be lovey-dovey, sentimental feeling got me pulling out the phone, 'cause the shit get documented. Look, before I waste time, would you spend yours? 'Cause I spend my life with you. Before I waste time, would you spend yours? 'Cause I spend my life with you. Yeah, she had me thinking, now you got me contemplating, like, what the hell I'm missing? See, everything you bringing, yeah, my table kinda empty, give me hope to new beginnings. Let me readjust my setting, energy is condescending, my brightness kinda high, and your light is so appealing. Need that new update, so I store up all these feelings. I just wanna be loved, and your heart is so revealing. It's like an open book, I love the pages that I'm reading, 'cause before I waste time, would you spend yours? 'Cause I spend my life with you. Before I waste time, would you spend yours? 'Cause I spend my life with you.
Okay, that was a bop. That was calm. I like that. Real
Thank you.
calm.
Thank you.
Yes, and that was Love of My LOML,
Which stands for Love
Love of My Life by CJ.
See, when I had made that song, I was influenced, you know, like I was talking to somebody at the time, and like Valentine's Day was coming up, so like
Oh, he was in his feelings.
Yeah, I was in my
He was
feelings.
in his
I was in my
bag.
feelings.
Clearly, you could hear that. He was in his bag. But yeah, that was a good bop. So welcome to Mind Over Matter, episode 24. I had to bring out the big dogs. I had to bring out two special guys with me to do 24. You know, Kobe, exactly. You gotta go big for that number. But on today's episode, I'll be talking about passion or profit. Which one is better? We talk about the benefits of profit, chasing money, chasing monetary gain, materialistic just stuff. And we'll also be talking about whether we should chase our passion, whether we should chase something we love, something that's in our heart's desire. So, which one would you say, Greg? I'm gonna start off with you. Passion or profit? It's a deep. It's
to be honest, nah. Like, my initial thought is profit. Like,
Really?
go after profit, because when you go after profit, you're building that foundation to chase your passion. You can literally build profit, stop, and then go after your passion.
Right.
And still be secure.
Right.
Afterwards. also you can use that profit to build your passion even more, to where now your passion is what's making you your profit. You see what I'm saying? But if you just chasing passion, crossing your fingers, hoping you get somewhere, that's a risk that a lot probably won't take, but a lot of people do take.
But a lot of people would say, with chasing your passion, the money comes with it. You ever heard anybody say that? Like, once you chase your passion, money will come. Just don't worry.
Right.
Go. Do you feel like that's like kind of the blind leading the blind? You have to have something to.
That's true, but it's just the risk factor.
Okay.
Like if you're willing to take a risk, which a lot of people do, but not a lot of people make it out. You know, not a lot of people do well in that. You know, but it depends on who you are as an individual, and it also depends on your situation.
Okay.
Like if you could stay at home and build your craft and chase your passion, and not have any other, what do you call it, responsibilities, you can do that for sure.
Okay, so Greg is going profit. I'm going passion. He's go. What are you going? What you saying?
I'm in the middle. You know, to piggyback off of what Greg was saying, I feel like if you focus on profit, you can make passion your side hustle, because your passion not always gonna make, like, let's say like your profit, like if you're doing something you're good at, like say that makes 6 figures, but the max your passion is making is probably like 5 figures. You know, like I'm more of a bag person. It's kind of cap, but like I'm more of a bag person because I feel like if you chase profit with what you're good at, you can make enough to, at the end of the day, to chase your passion. You know, right now, like I work at Target. I hate Target. Like I don't hate Target. It's just I hate retail. Let me correct that. I actually really do love Target, but
you don't want to get fired.
Yeah, right.
I dislike working in retail. Let me correct myself. Because I'm an artist, like I like to make music, I like to act. But starting off in that field, you'll go broke if that's all you chase. So I try to chase a profit first. I realize I'm good at working at retail, based off of my previous job experiences. So I kind of support what Greg is saying with the profit, but then going back to me loving my passion, I feel like at a certain moment, depending on what your passion is, you do gotta go chase that. You gotta drop the bag for a little bit, but like you gotta go chase your passion.
But like I get where both of you guys are coming from, but I'm forever gonna say passion, because just that drive to do better and be better at something. The monetary game is like that whole game of just waiting for that check, saving on it, holding on to it, making sure you budget yourself correctly. It goes out the window, and that whole like aspect of having to hold that burden of like, man, how am I gonna pay for this, pay for that? The lifestyle, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, eventually, once you master your passion and once you are putting all the work because you decided to go all in with it, a lot of people are afraid to commit. That's the big part. Yeah. To commit to one thing. And then once you commit to that one thing, eventually you're going to become an expert, and people are going to start recognizing it and throwing, what you deserve at you. And I know it's a kind of like an optimistic thing, like, oh, that's for like, a lolly land world, like, it's the real world. But I do truly believe if you love something, you should go for it. And of course, profit is gonna help. Like, we all need money for resources, extra avenues to make our passion better.
I always thought like business. I was always business minded. I was always like, I want to run things. Like I don't want to be an employee. Like I feel like if you're a creative, you're automatically an employee, but you're an employee for yourself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was more so the mindset, I want to just get creatives together and then like just pay them and let them create, and then we all the business grows. You know?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm more of the mindset of profit.
Yeah.
Because I know for where that money is going. It's going into my passion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that way I know with that money everything will move a lot faster. You know?
Yeah, you're right.
I do feel like chasing a passion, though, there comes sacrifice. Whether it's 3 things, 4 things, like I know you're sacrificing either time, you're either sacrificing money, or you're even sacrificing like relationships. And the reason why I say that is because going up for myself, right now, focusing on my tape, you know, it's taking a lot of money out of me. So I'm using my job at retail like to pay for these things, you know. I'm not only just paying for my music, I'm paying for like equipment, I'm paying for my rent, first of all, I'm paying for food. I'm trying to chase my passion, but it is expensive. And also with time, I noticed that the more, especially starting at ground level, the more time you put into your passion that you want to do, the less time you have, you know, like, for example, with the studio, I may spend like 4 or 5 hours on one track for my personal reasons, but like I have like a 13 track like tape, so like 13 times like 5, you know, that becomes a lot. That's like 65 hours, I think. And then you have like the time and like building up content, time traveling, like so and so. But not just time like in general, but also like your age thing. Like when I was younger, I used to think like if you don't do certain things at a certain age, you're not going to become anything. You know, when I was younger, I used to really think like, oh, if I'm not this by 21, like I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. You know, as I got older, my
it's only getting worse now.
Yes. I'm 22, you know, but I still feel like I don't have that much time. And with passion comes a lot of time and sacrifice. And then the last thing, relationships.
But I want to say one thing before I miss this thought. With passion and time, you're enjoying the time. You know what I mean?
That's true.
But when profit is like, sometimes it's like a fighting uphill battle. Like, damn, I gotta do this. Come on, you have to force yourself to be with it. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah. As long as you know your why, like if that profit is what you love to, like I was doing finance. I love finance. I love money. I love how to maneuver money and invest. And that profit, I was okay with it. I wasn't okay with working behind the desk, though. I learned that, but it's a learning process. But as long as you know your why, you know where that money's going.
Do you feel like anybody's okay with working behind the desk?
Yes, to be honest.
I think it's like they just got used to it. I don't think they like it. I think they're trying to trick themselves into saying like, I like
Which
it.
Which is bad. But
money
people have like, this is the thing, like they have like families. It's like this.
Yeah.
That's their why. That's why they keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know, they don't realize that I can do this for 2 to 5 years.
But I feel like they're putting themselves in a box a lot of the times when they do that, and they're like setting it up where their kids or whatever are seeing them, and it's like, all right, I gotta take this route now.
Yeah.
They don't really see other options. You know, it's like very like robotic kind of way of moving and living. But obviously, people have to eat. Like, come on, we can't ignore that. But then next thing you know, 15 years go by, and it's scaring me. Like, I had a cubicle job before. I had this old lady, Marianne, what's up? If you're watching this, what's up, Marianne? Her old self. She was like, I don't know why she didn't retire yet. Like, she was really, really old. And probably like 70s. Like, I don't know how old she was, but, you know, black don't crack, so it's hard to, it's hard to really say how old she was. But anyways, she was just so sad, so depressed, like so depressing to be around. Just, she made me scared of that life, you know?
Yeah.
And I always wonder, like, why didn't she leave? You know? And then she probably tells herself, I like this, it's for my family, I gotta do this. But your family will be way more happier if you're happy a lot of the time, because you're gonna project that onto them.
Right.
It's just a deep, like, I don't know. I hope she got out that job. She probably home. I want to talk about just growing up. Like, when we're growing up, we're told, chase your dreams. You could be anything you want to be.
Get more into the camera.
Oh, sorry. Alright.
So we're told we could be anything we want to be. If you want to be an astronaut, you could be an astronaut, you know? Chase what your heart truly desires. But why do you think that narrative changed over time, where it's like, now it's looked at as, okay, you want to be a musician? That's kind of taboo. Like, you want to make money now, like, you know? Why do you think that kind of narrative changed to not chase your passion, but now it's like...
I think it's a generational thing. People are
scared now.
Yeah.
But kids don't care.
To be honest, I was never told that. Like, I was never told chase your dreams.
Really?
I was never told that at all.
That's crazy.
I never had, like, anybody... I was just doing what my parents would put me into. Like, you know, and... their insecurities and their fears was projected on me. So you got to go to college, you got to get a job, you got to do these things to be successful, you know, because that's how I did it. You know, they're not realizing it, and they're not, especially if you're working in a job, they're not open-minded to other avenues of making income, because they're just like, oh, you want to, you want to design clothes? How you gonna make money in that? Like, it's just
that's the straight question they ask. Like, how much money does that make?
Yeah.
Like,
how you gonna fund that? And that just answers that question.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it is a generational thing, because I know, especially like for black people like us, back then, like, there wasn't that many opportunities, so they were pushing their kids to, oh, you have to become a doctor, you have to become a lawyer. Not even just black people though, like other minorities that was in America, you know, racial minorities, and even like the females back then, like, they had to push them to get jobs as doctors, officers, lawyers, because that's where the money was. That's where the change was. There was too much of a, what's that word? That, like, the system.
A gap, like a.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna just use that word, gap. You know, in the system, you know, like oppression, like the systematic oppression had brought us back. So they were pushing for us to become doctors and lawyers. Nowadays, there's so much options for us, you know, just bringing it back to, like, I'm gonna just say the 90s, like, people started being able to go to school more, you can have certain jobs, like certain places now, like to this day we're still having first blacks something.
Yeah,
like,
that
to
blows
this day,
my
you know,
mind. That blows my mind.
And it's wild that it's like that, you know.
But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Like, that means it's changing. That means it's changing. We're seeing.
It is a good thing.
Change.
It is a good thing.
But it's sad because, like, systems are put in place where it's making it that we're here for hundreds of years that's still not changing. You know, we're still going off of systems that was built hundreds of years ago. Like, for example, like the Constitution, 14th, 15th, 16th Amendment were specifically to make sure that black people were, like, you know, not seen as humans in a way. And it's like, you can't change that. You can't change that. It's 2021. 18, I don't even know. Like, come on, change that. But yeah, that's a good point that you put there. And I have a complete, like, different upbringing than you, Greg. Because my mom, she came to America. She didn't have any money. She came illegally. She's legal now, so I could say that. And this is her place. Like, this is her daycare. Like, she loves kids. That's her passion. And she went with it, and she never looked back. And I feel like a lot of people that don't come from America, they have this advantage because they've grown up with nothing. So when they come here, they're like, wow, they're taking all of this for granted. Watch this. I'm going to make something of it.
Actually, the Chinese, though.
Yeah, they always come out on top. And it's like, she always, both of my parents instilled in me, like, all right, the sky's the limit, you could do anything you want. Like, that was always the motto, and I've been running with it ever since. And it's like, I don't feel like it's a fantasy. I honestly feel like we could really do whatever we want. And back to what I was saying about like people that come outside of the country and take advantage, and they say, wow, America is the land of dreams and stuff. Why do you think like their mindset is so different than people that's born and raised here?
Because as a government, the government gives us things for free. Like a lot of things for free. There's free money, there's assistance, all that stuff where you just settle.
You get comfortable with
You
it.
get comfortable. Like there's no reason. Like right now, there's no reason to work.
Yeah, but
Because
these free things, we should use it as resources to get ahead. But
see,
instead,
you know that.
Yeah, our mindset is so limited, where it's like we just put ourselves in this box. You know, it's so sad. Wake up.
It's a family. It's an in the house thing too. It's a family thing. It's the lack of education. It's like why like I just learned like all that money I made last year. Like I put first of all, this is on topic but off topic at the same time. Credit cards, right? I just realized in this kind of like slow moment. I just realized that's if you use it, you're putting yourself in debt. In a sense.
Oh yeah.
I was paying it off every month, thinking I'm not in debt, but you're still spending that money though.
I went to Miami and I didn't know how to act. I was swiping that credit card left and right.
Yeah. And then you're like now you're back home and it's like, damn, I put money in my credit card.
But it's okay. We're young. We're learning.
Yeah,
you know?
You're learning. But yeah, that's why I'm saying the whole generational thing. The fact that I was never told to chase my dreams. There was no education in money about handling money. Black
people are so financially illiterate. We don't know anything.
Sad. It's so sad.
We don't know anything.
And then like I'm glad I had YouTube, to be honest. Like YouTube taught me everything. Like I moved from Philly at 18, so and I moved in my aunt's crib, and that was the thing. But there was no conversations about that. It was like just get a job. There was no how do you use your money. Just get a job. Just get a job.
They don't talk about debt, like loans. Oh my gosh, loans.
Yeah.
They definitely don't speak about loans. Like they just like, all right, go to college, take out this loan. All right, put your name at the bottom, sign. And we don't know what we're getting into until we graduate. Like, whoa, what is this? I have to pay this back. Like I just got my freedom. Like I don't even know how to use this properly, and it's sad.
It's so sad.
It's sad.
And I was thinking, oh, you want to go? Because I'm
taking it all.
I literally was talking to a Chinese lady the other day, right? And she told me how she came to. She said, I don't want to do the accent. I can't do it.
Don't do the accent. I'm not trying to be canceled. I want to cancel everybody now.
But she said, I came to the States, and she said, literally, she showed me her Instagram or her TikTok. This lady's like 65, whatever. And she shows me that, and she says, yeah, I'm trying to build my Instagram to like 5,000 followers, and then I'm going to start selling ads and giving like ads to people.
That's smart.
You know?
That is smart.
And it's crazy that she knew this. And she's doing it, and she's taking advantage.
She's like 65?
Yes. And she came in, and she's like, yeah, I learned all this on YouTube. And then she has a house, like mind you, and I don't know, like I said, generational, because the Chinese has always been about their money and taught their kids financial literacy.
I'm about to get into that too.
Even the Jews, like same thing. Like that's like the interview today I had, Jewish guy. He owns a real, like his car, he drives a Bentley, but he's Jewish. You know what I'm saying? That just shows you what they can spend their money on, how much.
But Jews have been known to have money, like
always,
in America,
because it's like it's taught, and they have their own schools and
that's the biggest part. You know, that's the biggest part.
And they teach that in the school.
Yeah, that's the biggest part.
And what's back to taking advantage of things that we take for granted. Everything is accessible, but people from overseas, they see it and they see it as an opportunity. That's just what it is. It's normal. Like that's why I feel like that's probably why people are fighting that whole like what is it called, DACA or whatever, when the borderline, like they don't want to send the deportation, like to build the wall and all that stuff, right? Like there's people who actually make a difference that are immigrants here for the good, you know. But that's probably another reason why people, you know, want that not to happen, because we take it for granted. And it's, so you got black
even
people.
about the profit, like I'm thinking about like just Chinese people and Jewish people, some of the few people that you mentioned, they have their own communities, right? You go to Chinatown, you see them bustling with different streams of income everywhere. They got their markets, they got their banks. Like the Chase Bank in Chinatown have like Chinese letters over it, and it's like even in the Jewish community, you see the mosques that probably bringing in so much money. They got their own police, they got their own hospitals, and it's like you come into black communities. What are you seeing? You seeing Chinese food stores that's owned by Chinese people. You seeing stuff that's not even owned by us, and it's
we never stay together. That's why we always assimilated.
We had some stuff back then, like we had Black Wall Street and all of this other stuff that kind of like
took that shit from us.
They took it away from us.
Yeah, but then it happened. But then what did we?
We didn't.
Yeah, what did we do?
But that's because we were fed like through the media. We were fed like certain things that drew us back from our own elevation. You know.
Yeah,
like,
and then we started having that kind of slave mentality. Like, yo, us uniting is gonna bring us down because we don't have anything to offer. You know what I mean?
You know,
we have to unite with white people because they have stuff to offer us.
You know, actually talking about this, I actually watched Morgan Freeman. Was it? Yeah, it was Morgan Freeman, I think. He was doing an interview from back then, and it was talking about like Black History Month, for example, and he was saying how he doesn't want a Black History Month, and I kind of. Not saying like I agree with it, but I kind of understand it, because like he was saying like, oh, you're diminishing our history down to a month, or like you're cutting our history down to a month. And the reporter was Jewish, so he was like, hey, would you want a Jewish month? And the reporter was like, no. And then he asked him why. Well, the interview the clip that I seen in that interview cut off there, but. Like he was saying, like, you see, like you don't want a month, I don't want a month. Like it's because like it's much more to what they're providing, but some people are satisfied for such things as a Black History Month, or even like recently, like with the George Floyd thing. Some people are satisfied with just then they sign like a George Floyd like reform, like police reform thing, where like, oh, you can't do this. They banned like a certain maneuver and so on and so on. Some people are satisfied with that, but I'm like, there still need to be more, you know? Like some people are just satisfied with just that one result or that one outcome.
You know what I came to realize? We can't expect more from people that haven't had our experience and are so far from the Black experience that it doesn't benefit them to give us more, you know? So just us as a next generation, like we're gonna be at the forefront of everything in the next 10 years. We're gonna be the working class. We're gonna be making these decisions. So it's like we just need to have this mental shift where it's like we don't have to adopt what our parents are telling us anymore. It's our world now.
So crazy. That's like I'm even thinking about this because it's you brought up Black Wall Street, right? Now we have BLM.
Right.
You see the difference? Like
it's so passive. It's so passive. It's not doing much.
It's not just doing anything at all.
Black Lives Matter. Now what?
Yeah.
Now what?
And that's probably the only time where I see a lot of Black people together is when you're rioting and you're on the streets. Like, why aren't we doing something else with that? Like, why aren't we like this daycare? Like stuff like that. Building stuff in-house in our neighborhoods. Pooling our money together. Like Susu. Like that came from out of the States.
What's
you know what a Susu is? No? I thought you would know. Are you Jamaican? Aren't you Jamaican?
Yeah, what is that?
Alright, alright. Susu, right? It's like you pull your money together. Like alright, so say your family of 5, right? they put money together. Like all right, I'm gonna put $200 a month for the year.
Oh, the partner money. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Partner money. I know what you're talking about.
So that one person gets it. Right?
Yeah, and then you circle, and
then
yep.
So, in a sense, it's like, why are we doing that in our communities? Like, one family could save up if they all worked hard. They could save up and then buy something. Like, if they knew that, you know, but they don't.
Yeah.
And nobody's giving us that education now. Where instead of building another Black Wall Street, which we probably can do now more than ever.
What?
All these black.
Because it's so much.
Because we're trending now.
Yeah.
We should really start doing it.
All these black.
They focus. You didn't like. If you look at the timeline, like they killed Tupac for a reason. They killed these people for a reason, right? Everything was a plot for right now, to where we're not even focusing on that no more. We're focusing on police and this and that, and like they're killing us, and blah blah blah.
But they've
like,
always been killing us.
Yeah, like so. How can we avoid that? Can we do things in house to avoid that stuff? That way, they're not even stopping us no more. You know, I don't see them stopping Jewish people a lot. I don't see them stopping
because they know it's all about their skin color.
I don't think it's about that.
It is though.
It's about the culture.
It's all about the skin color.
I'm actually.
Bro, it was America was built based on skin color, and it
I'm
didn't.
talking about today.
Today, it's still about it, bro.
No, I want to branch off for that. Like, they are like. I'm not saying like they're not only stopping black people. They are like stopping other people, but the media focuses on that specific particular topic, so we can focus on that particular topic, so we can stay our minds on that.
But if you just do the right thing and don't just don't do anything that you wouldn't do. Like if your teacher sends you if you're about to get in trouble for detention or whatever, right? You're not gonna make a whole big spectacle about it. You're gonna be like, all right, cool, all right, I'm going to detention, and then call it a day, right? If you do, then you get more detention. But in the case with the cop, if you were to escalate and say, why are you pulling me over? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And they feel threatened, you know, they're gonna do something about it too.
Yeah, I understand that perspective, but there's always gonna be the opposite side where the cop can come aggressively and overly use their power. It happens. People make their occupation get to their head, and they think they're better than people. It happens all the time where a boss, you know, treats their employees less than, and you can't treat somebody less than and try to use that authority when you have a gun, because at the end of the day you have a gun, you know, and what you say goes. And a lot of them, it's like cognitive bias. You don't say it right the way, like, I'm scared of black people, but your body language says it different. Your body language says differently because you've been hardwired.
By who?
By media, by what you see every day, what you're around every day.
And that's my point. It's literally brainwashing us to believe that this happens all the time.
Yeah,
and
I get that too.
I don't like that, because then we start to say everyone is this. Yeah. The NYPD is a KKK. You know,
no, I'm not saying they're the KKK.
You said that though.
No, I said
similar.
It's an evolution.
Okay.
Not every white person back then was racist.
Yeah.
You know, it's an evolution of racist people.
Right.
Getting big positions. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you could be a cop right now. You're not racist.
Oh, you are? No.
Yeah, I would never. You know, it's funny. I wanted to be a cop at one point, like literally, like in the past few years.
That's probably why you so.
No, it's not. It's not why though. It's not why. Cause like I talk to cops, and like literally, like I've had my fair share running with the cops, and it's literally stupid shit. Like,
yeah.
But every conversation that I had with them, they just want to make it $20 an hour, and they just want to go home. That's all they want to do. You know, don't make like they're literally.
That's
like,
it.
20.
Yeah, they make 20. That's actually a lot more than other states.
I feel like they could make more.
Yeah, but that's if they did more. But that's another thing.
Okay.
But it's more like they're more like retail workers, but the law, like not retail workers. Sorry. No, literally, like think about it like this, right? You deal with customers, right? Their customers are citizens, right? They want to help. If you see you break the law, right? Or you see someone at the store stealing, you go up to them.
Security guards, then, because
yeah, you call it whatever. Yeah, you go to them, say, you're doing something wrong. Here's a ticket. Here's this. Here's that. Right? That should be the end of it. Like you did something wrong. That's good. Let's just leave it alone.
But you have never ran into a dick security guard who just wants to be a dick and just look at you like you're about to take something.
That person's evil. That's number one. And you know that, right? Just let them be. Like,
now imagine if that person's a cop.
Actually,
see,
you know what I mean?
So in that case, right? This is where it's like you gotta understand people, like, and understand energies and stuff like that, and like you gotta be educated in a sense.
Yeah.
Like, so, but it won't deliberately happen. Like, as much as that person probably hates you and has an image of you, of what he thinks about you, already, you know who you are, and if you present yourself in the right way.
You don't know that though.
What do you mean? I don't know.
No, I'm saying you don't know if one day you're very compliant,
Mm-hmm.
you're overly compliant at that.
Yeah.
You're making sure you're moving in the right way. He could just have a bad day, you know?
Yeah, that is rare.
I mean, you can't confidently say that.
But see, that's
you can't confidently say that.
Why?
You can't confidently say that.
I want to go to the root of why we having this conversation.
I mean,
because like what I know what happened in the past, right? But
because you started naming the
like, I
list
don't
of
think the
people
cops-
that died from cops.
Oh yeah, who, me?
it's increasing.
Yeah.
If you look at it, like the number.
And that's what's actually getting recognition. Imagine how much stuff is getting swept under the rug. Imagine how much of stuff like, all right,
But that
We got
it's like it's
back then they didn't have tapes, so that's
Exactly.
probably why it seems like it's increasing. But like,
Did you not hear about Central Park 5? That happened literally. It happened like 20 years ago. But
20?
they were kids.
Yeah, I
it
remember
happened in the 90s. They were kids.
I remember that. I saw I'm not gonna watch that movie. The Netflix thing.
And,
I'm not watching it.
and yeah, it's gonna
It hurt.
trigger the hell out of you.
it hurt. But
But
Nah, it's like they have this kind of cop code of conduct where it's like, yo,
They protect
I got your
themselves.
back, you got my back. I scratch your back, you scratch your back.
They
And
definitely
if you
do
don't, you're
protect
getting kicked
themselves.
out. Thank you if you made it to the end of another episode. Shout out to you. You real, you loyal. I appreciate you. Thanks to the guys for coming out, you know, using this platform to spread the message. And yeah. All their links will be in the description below the YouTube page, YouTube video, in that description right there. All their information will be there. Yes, and
mind over matter, baby.
yeah, period. It's mind over matter, baby.
Yeah, that should be like the end of every one. Like,
Yeah, that is.